little bit of background about myself. So I've been into sports in my school days and college days. So I used to participate in athletics, then also sports like throw ball. That's a team activity. So even while I joined my job, I used to continue to do these activities. And then I used to lead my school throwball team or college throwball team. Then while in office, once I became financially independent, I started going on treks and so on. I enjoyed or loved these activities. Okay. Then of course my work got heavier, and for a small brief of time I would just travel, as in travel for sightseeing or work, and the exercise part reduced. The reduced exercise part, was impacting my health to such an extent that sometimes when I had to go to catch the office bus, where I'm a little late and I probably had to walk faster or even run, I'm out of breath. A sports person, an athlete, a champion, now just, to go some 10, 20 meters, I'm going out of breath. So that's when I woke up, and, that even that small period of say 5-6 years, or, where I didn't do much of exercises, really impacted me. And I also observed during this time when I didn't do these exercises, my general mental state was, I was highly stressed, negative in my thoughts, okay, and always, uncomfortable or restless and so on. I also developed some neck pain, being so terminally focused. So that's when I got introduced to yoga. Okay. So initially when I started off, I couldn't do Surya Namaskar or the sun salutations, even 6 of them. Okay. I would really go out of breath. I mean, that was the state, of this not exercising for a couple of years. Then it took me about 8 months to almost a year to come back to my original self. And that was the year where I did 108 sun salutations of Surya Namaskars as part of Ratha Saptami. So I was back in form. And there was a change as well in me. The negativity in my mind started reducing. Okay, I was a little more positive in my thoughts, happier, or back to my usual, happy self. That was one thing I would say from yoga. Then, as you know, I also do trekking and cycling. So what this gives. So one thing about trekking is when you go trekking in Himalayas, you go trekking at very high altitudes. You have a less oxygen, and sometimes the climb is very strenuous. So breathing becomes difficult. So this is when you feel, oh no, there are times when you think, why am I doing this? Why am I climbing this mountain? Okay. But then you do this deep breathing because, from yoga, I've learned this pranayama. You actually are able to climb and cross over that small height which has less oxygen, right? We go up to 13,000, 14,000 feet where the oxygen is less. And when you cross it and finish it, cross that and you start your climb down, that's where, you have this amazing feeling, I did it. So that actually carries over to what you do in your day-to-day life, right? You believe that you can do it. If you've done something so difficult, this is really simple. Why can't I do it? So that gives you that positivity. Okay. And as a sports person, I observed, right? So, I participate in many competitive events. Then some I win, some I lose. That resilience, okay? That fairness, that, it shows in your day-to-day work. And some of the few things I would say, right? We are playing throw ball. Our opposition team, we played against these different kinds of teams. So you have an opposition team which is really, really strong. You have to give your best, right? Same thing in your project. You've got this challenging project. A lot of things ride on this for the company. So you do your best. then you have this throwball team, which is really, opposition is so trivial. You can eat them alive types, they are not as strong as you. They are, you can beat them easily. Probably you can beat them to 15 to, 3 or 4 points. That's where you slow your game. You don't play like the way you play against the best team. You slow down, you play at their level so that they too feel good about making points. So that's where I realized you show this even in your work, right? You have a team member who's finding it difficult, so you're kinder to them, nicer to them. You help your extend your helping hand to treat them, so that they can catch up with the rest of the team. So what I find that doing this, maintaining this healthy lifestyle, keeping fit, it keeps your mind fit. It helps you balance out a lot of emotions and a lot of activities in your life. Okay, you become more self-conscious and aware. I've been doing yoga for almost 10 years now. So the consciousness level on what I am good at or what are my weaknesses, why I'm behaving the way I do, I'm more conscious and aware of that. My next level is to actually control it. So for sometimes I have this feeling or view, okay, I'm getting angry, or I'm just getting upset, or I'm being irrational. I'm conscious of that. I know I'm being all that. I'm yet to reach the level where, I fix it, when that's, I'm being irrational or I'm getting angry. I'm yet to reach the level, say, no, I should not be angry now. I should calm down. I have not yet reached that level, but I know I am, angry. So the next step is to cross over those emotions. Okay. So I think my yoga practice is going to help me to reach there. I think one of, I think Padmaja said this, right? It's about your passion, and when you are really passionate about something, there's, you really can't draw boundaries, right, between work and personal life. And especially now that, at least for me, I'm working from home, I actually don't see the need per se to draw that boundary balance to work home here and work here. Okay, I mix both. I enjoy both, and to some extent, when you say balance, what do you mean by that? To me, it is disconnecting from work. Not talk about work for some time, go take a break, relax, and come back. So when I go on these trekking or cycling trips, especially when you go in the Himalayas, you have no mobile connectivity. The only people you are with your co-trekkers. Okay. And so you are disconnected, you meet new people, you get refreshed. The way you think when you come back changes. You have a lot of positive energy. So I would say this kind of disconnection is good. Okay. You come back, you see things in a new perspective because you met these new people, you accomplish something, and then you start again. Okay. So I would say that balance per se is, at that point in time, do what is important and high priority for you. Work is important, personal life is also important. At that moment, do what is required for that. If work is important, you have an important deliverable, go ahead, do it. Or if some personal attention is required at home, either for a child or a parent or in-laws, spouse, do that. Okay? No compromise on work, no compromise in personal life. Okay. If you want to disconnect, disconnect. If there's too much noise in the house and you want some peace and quiet, take a break, go on vacation. Too much stress in work, again, take a break, go on vacation. Okay. I would say just disconnection is rather a way to go rather than actually saying balance, because both are important and both are required. Okay. That's my view.